Money, when you add a little bit of money to a sport and you give some girls attention, what they can do with it, I think everyone should take a page out of our book and really put some more time and effort into women's everything.
Welcome to Breaking the Glass Hockey Podcast. We're talking women's hockey from the PWHL to the NCAA. We'll be talking with players, builders, coaches, and fans who have made this great game what it is today. It's time to educate, empower, and elevate. Let's go!
Welcome back. We're back on a Sunday morning. We're back. That's it.
We're tired.
We're tired. Halloween weekend's man, when you have kids, Halloween weekend is a butt kicker.
Did you stay up and watch the
World Sleep last night?
Yeah.
Thank God we did. But did you watch the World Series?
I fell asleep in the bottom of the 8th thinking that I was going to wake up to a Toronto World Series.
Oh my God. I fell asleep in the 11th.
Same. Same. I just
No, the 10th. No, I'm sorry. Maybe it was right at the end of the 10th, so I missed the final inning because I think it was the 11th. Brady and I just watched it. We let Brady sleep on the couch. He tried so hard to stay up, and I took a picture of him. He fell asleep in the 8th, and my good friend from Northeastern, Laura Benyon, is the team. So Team Canada was there again. They were there in Game 6. And
Yep.
Did you see? Wait, let me pause. Did you see Vladimir Guerrero? He walked in with Poulen's jersey on.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So my friend Laura Benyon, who's an NU grad, is the Team Canada women's national team doctor.
Yes.
So where she was, all of a sudden, I just dawned on me. It was like the 7th or 8th inning, and I was like, "Are you there?" And she was like, "You betcha." And then I just kept getting OMFG on every play from her. But yeah, Brady didn't make it. We watched it this morning. I let him watch it when we got up, but I didn't tell him what happened. And I fell asleep in the 11th, and I woke up and it was over.
Yeah.
So, bummer.
I mean, I'm not a baseball guy, and I really like Mookie Betts a lot, so I was glad for him, but I was pulling for the Blue Jays for sure.
I was pulling for the Blue Jays. I mean,
different team.
proximity says something. I got so many Canadian buddies, and I was pulling.
I thought they were going to win it for sure. Like, I wasn't even questioning. It's just a matter of time, in my view.
Oh man, but it's so hard to get back to that place when you finally get there. I mean, I know the Dodgers went back to back, but like, it's so hard to get back to that place. Like this, you have to think, was this it? Was this their chance? You know?
Yeah.
But what a mind game for the pitchers. Like, I was kind of thinking the comparative to a goaltender. I mean, there's so much pressure, and then kind of coming in out of the bullpen, what a mind game that must be.
Yeah, and I think the Dodgers used 4 starters last night.
Isn't it crazy too to have the mentality like we talked to Julie Chu about this, but remember she was talking when we interviewed her about pressure, how some people look at pressure as a negative thing and some people look at it as a positive. And I forget, like, you could look at it as a challenge or you could look at it with dread. And I think the mentality of closers or relievers coming out of the bullpen, some guys and women, they thrive on it, where some just crumble under that pressure.
Well, here's the thing, like you just said that, Kelly, like the isolation moments of a pitcher and a hitter are what are so incredible in baseball for me. It's as equally pressure filled on the hitter, right? And I look at those moments where those people come in from the pitchers come in from the bullpen and there's so much pressure on them, but there's also so much pressure on the hitter. And you watch the hitter like breathing before they get up to the plate, and I mean, the home runs that were hit, that was just like, there's a strikeout right before that. Then a home run gets hit. I'm like, that's a clutch by the hitter. I mean, sure, you could critique the pitcher, but man, it's like you said, Brownie, like, that's the hitter pulling through in the clutch versus the pitcher, because there'd be a strikeout, a home run, and then that same pitcher would come back and strike out the next batter. Just a battle of will.
One pitcher I heard an interview the other day. I don't remember which game it was, but I guess in the beginning of the game he gave up like a couple of home runs, and he was like, "No, I hit my spot." He's like, "I got it. I put it exactly where I wanted. The batter just got it." And sometimes it's just, tip of the hat. That's the game.
Yeah, I was bummed. I was really rooting for Toronto, and I was texting anybody I knew was watching of my Canadian pals and saying, "Go Blue Jays," and trying to get on the bandwagon.
Well, welcome to Breaking the Glass Hockey Podcast, where we just recap the World Series for 4 minutes.
Sure. Hey,
No, it's
pressure is
fun. It's
pressure.
sports, man. It's good. It's
It's
good.
all in the mindset, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the comparative here, and how you take that. I mean, I talk to my goalies a lot. When you feel that surge of energy, sort of like you were saying, Linda, do you decide what to do with it? Is it nervous energy, or do you turn it like this is adrenaline and use it in a positive way?
Yeah.
So it's really good conditioning. I always talk not only for your sport, but then for life, right? You're giving a presentation to a room of 300 doctors and you all of a sudden have this feeling of rush of energy. What do you do with it? That's the decision you can make.
Yeah. Pressure's a privilege, right?
Yeah, right.
That's it. All right. Well, let's start then. I think we segued right into this with talking about pressure with a mea culpa. So, Julie Chu, if you're listening, none of us went to Harvard, and Kelly wasn't there, who's clearly the smartest amongst us. And technology is hard. Linda and I are not great at it. And that podcast was in terms of the audio. And we're working on trying to salvage some of it, but I believe a verbal contract was issued when you said you'd be happy to come back. So that's binding. And but yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna
that was
work
tough.
through it. Hopefully, we'll get some really nice sound bites when it comes to, um, yeah, just some of our conversation because it was so good. Yeah, we can have her back, but we want to capture some of those great sort of nuggets of information.
I'll blame the infrastructure at Matthews, which is going away. So that was the issue there. All right, on to new news. You want to take, since you know her, Linda?
Oh, you're making me take it. I'm plugging my phone in
Oh,
here because
as we're
I
talking
just
about
gotta. Yeah,
technology.
technology is my not my friend. Can't get on our Google Drive. My phone is dying. I mean, it was a late night of the World Series. Like I said, all we had is the extra hour. Um, yeah, I mean, Tara Mounsey being inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. She's a Concord, New Hampshire native, so we love that. That New England roots. Went to Brown. Um, yeah, good camping friend of mine from my annual camping trip that we've talked about. Um, and she was a two-sport athlete at Brown, so she played ice hockey and field hockey, which is awesome. I did that myself at Northeastern. Um, it's a dying breed now, those multi-sport athletes.
At the college
For
level, for sure.
Yeah, for good reason though. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just so much more of a dedicated amount of resources that get put into the sport, the athletes, what they need to do to play at the levels that we get to watch now, right? Um, so has an Olympic gold, Olympic silver. We're super happy for her. Shout out to her, and also that I will be reaching out to you to bring you on the podcast soon. So
For when you
I'm
hear
pretty
this,
sure
give
you
your
told
heads
me
up.
that around the fire with a few beers back in June. So stay tuned.
I have a couple of things to add too. Tara really set things on fire in New England. Like I played schoolboy hockey in high school, and there was a couple other goalies like Kathy Kazmaier and such. But Tara was the first one to be a non-goalie playing in that level of boys high school hockey. So it was pretty cool. And then also to see her success as she was one of the most dominant players. She was also the captain. So these were pretty significant things in that whole follow-up in the world of boys public school hockey at the time. So I got to play with Mounsey with Team USA. So I remember when she was coming up, she was one of the young guns with us veterans. And, from the day one when she stepped on the ice, you just knew this person had something really special. So it was awesome to see her play.
Can I ask a field hockey question? Well, actually, handed question, I guess. So, Linda, you played field hockey, you played golf.
Yeah.
Do you do all three the same side?
Yeah.
Huh. Is that
Luckily,
common or is it uncommon?
well, you field hockey's only righty.
Oh, you can't play lefty?
Right.
Even now?
So nope.
Yeah, you have to switch
It's only righty.
your hands.
Fortunately for
is the
me, I
back
was
of
already in
the
hockey, so
is the back of the field hockey stick flat or
No,
is it
it's
curved?
rounded, but it's a penalty if you use the other side.
so in
Oh,
field hockey, you flip the stick over.
You
So
flip your wrists.
you use the flat side of the
yep.
stick all the time on the ball. You can't use the rounded side like Kelly said. But when you dribble, you flip the stick over and
Oh
pull it
my
back and
God.
pull it and pull it back. Just like
Wow.
I just did it yesterday. See that skill?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
But I know what you're saying because when lefty hockey players, let's say, play field hockey, or I mean, I think they spend a lot of time on the backhand side,
Yeah.
naturally, right?
Right, right, right.
But um
I was just
I don't
curious.
know. Yeah, in golf, I mean, just all flowed into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
righty thing. But the other thing I just want to say about Monzi really quick before we move on is, my whole, viewpoint on what are successful athletes in this realm, female hockey players doing in the world, right? Like, what is making them successful? What are they doing? Uh, Tara Momsey works at New England Baptist, and she's in orthopedics, and she's
Oh, right.
very, very successful there. And that's one of the things. She is one of the people. I had this conversation with her in June about bringing people on that can talk about how hockey elevated them and set them up with a mindset to be successful in something other than athletics, or in whatever their current career is. And that's a passion project for me. So when we bring people on like that, it's important that we highlight that. So again, I'm looking
So
forward to
just on
having her
that
on.
point too, Linda, is Mounsey was my care person when I had my second hip done.
Yeah.
So the surgeon that she was with was Dr. James Bono, and so he did my hip. So she was really the person who kind of keeps you alive between anesthesia and blood and everything else. So I mean, Mounsey was beside me the whole time, and she was phenomenal.
Yeah, and
That's
she
awesome.
works with the Celtics now. So she's on call with them if anything happens and they got to go to surgery, emergency surgery or anything. So we had some good tidbits of that. So she's got a lot more to talk about than just being a hockey player, right? It's really
For
cool.
sure.
And a mom.
Yeah.
And then real quick, this was announced that Quebec City is going to be hosting the 2027 Women's Worlds and the 2029 World Junior Championship. I feel like they just keep stringing Quebec City along with all these hockey things. They're like, yeah, I promise we're coming at some point. And later on, there's we'll talk about some PWHL news that's coming, and maybe Quebec City's in the mix for that.
Hey,
It's
Brownie, when you
possible.
say the 2029 World Junior Championships, is that men's or women?
I believe it was both, but I'm probably wrong. I'm
Okay.
thinking it's. I'm thinking it was
Uh,
the. I'm thinking it's the women's. If I have it on here, that'd be my guess.
I don't know, guys. I'd have to look it up, but we don't really call the younger group the World Juniors. We call it the U18s.
Oh, so maybe it's the boys
So
then.
World Junior is specific to the
All right, we'll
men's.
have to check this out. Yeah,
This is a
that's what I
live mea
noticed too.
culpa while we're moving forward.
Teamwork, Brownie, teamwork.
I
It's all right.
need a sound effect.
Listen, we got to get our audio right
Oh,
before we
geez.
start playing with
I'm
sound
looking
effects.
at how far Quebec City is from me. It's far. It's very
Oh, is
far
it?
driving.
All
Yeah.
right.
I mean, that shows you my geography for Canada east of Toronto is terrible.
It's not
One of
that
you,
from Boston.
want to take Pelkey?
Go
Kelly,
ahead,
go ahead.
Kelly.
Pelkey, yeah, she's another amazing individual. I got to work with Pelkey when she was on the U.S. team, making equipment for Easton. So I got to make her sticks and such. So just a gritty player. She fought through some adversity and just always stayed on top. It was just amazing to see her perform. Again, you talk about the mental mindset. I think that's where I am these days and talking about athletes, but just the grit, determination, and always maintaining that level of confidence to perform at her best. It was really impressive to watch her.
The reason we're talking about Amanda Pelkey is that she has announced that she's retiring. For those that were unaware, yeah, she Vermont native, UVM standout. She was the first player to sign with the Boston Pride and won the Isabel Cup, two-time Olympic gold, and if I have this correctly, she had a year off, I believe. Was that her or Gigi Marvin? One of them took a year off, then came back because they wanted to play that first year in the PW. I think maybe it was both of them. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd have to look.
she put up 5, 5, and 10 in 24 games in the first year at the Fleet. Just a heck of a player too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not I don't want to say she's not a stats kid. That's probably not the right way to put that, but she does a lot more on the ice from her energy, her effectiveness as like she is a really gritty penalty killer and just she's a catalyst. She tends
Yeah,
to score those goals and points in the pivotal moments. That's what I always see. What remember as her as a college player was that obviously she was a standout college player and playing within Hockey East, and she was considering Northeastern, so we were recruiting her, and that's how I got to know her through that process. But even in the PW, she always found a way to be in that moment, that like crucial moment. You're like, there's Pelkey. Of course it's Pelkey scoring that goal, right? So yeah, decorated, amazing person, had a great career and awesome to see. She can continue on in hockey, right?
Mhm.
She's going to be working with the Fleet, and that's what's nice about these guys can consider. I'm going to hang them up, but I could continue working in hockey in so
Yeah.
many different ways, right?
And now
So
there's just more opportunities also. Yeah. A
yeah,
couple of things about Pelkey. One, what you were saying, Linda, that's spot on. She's one of those players, in my opinion, that the casual fan wouldn't be like, oh man, but the people like she did all like the gritty stuff that doesn't show up on the stat
yeah,
line, right?
exactly.
Which makes all your teammates, coaches, scouts, knowledgeable fans really appreciate her game. And the second thing was we were at the first bean pot at TD Garden, and I had some friends there. So during the first game, I went down and I was sitting with them in the lower bowl, and one of the people played for the Northeastern club team that won the national championship a number of years ago. She's like probably pushing 30 now. But I was like, what is wrong with you? And she was like, she was like all like, and she goes, Amanda Pelkey's right there. Like she was freaking out. And she's not, it wasn't like a little kid. Like it was so funny. I'm like, go introduce yourself. And she's like, no. It was so funny. It was just such a funny thing. So shout out Trisha if you're listening. But yeah, it was a funny moment. Yeah. Which I'm sure Pelkey gets all the time, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so a quick spin through the NCAA. In the ECAC, Quinnipiac is 11-1 on the year. The 9-0 start was their best. It has been their best start in program history before they fell to Brown in a huge upset at the time. They're outscoring their opponents 54-16. And Kaylin LaMarche, who Eric, the SID, if you're listening, we'd love to have her on the podcast. 17-8-25 in 12 games played. She's tied with Minnesota's Abby Murphy to lead the nation. So Quinnipiac is a
Shout
buzzsaw.
out to Brown and my friend Mel Ruzi though for
Yeah,
that
1-0.
upset. They're on the up and up. They just beat somebody this weekend, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
that's
think
awesome to see
Brown's
the
ranked
pair.
15th now. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
coming. Yeah,
I did see that.
and it's hard too because the Ivies have played a significantly less
Hmm.
amount of games so far,
Yeah.
so they're just kind of hitting their stride. The only thing I will complain about with Brown is that I tried watching that Brown Quinnipiac game and I could only make it for like half the game because the camera was like it was like and I know the stadium wasn't vibrating. Maybe the kid had too much coffee. He was running the camera. I don't know what it was. It was
Get that
brutal.
seasick feeling?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
100% Kelly. I was like, "Oh, those are the concussions coming back to life." And then Dartmouth. This isn't really. This is more about this one player, Michaela Hesova. She's the first NCAA goalie to join Saves Help. It's a nonprofit founded by Simon. Oh boy, Urbeck. I'm going to go with Czech goalie who's playing with the Swiss Lions. The group raises funds to buy medical aids and rehabilitation stays for people that can't afford it. The goalies are from NHL to the KHL, the PW, and now she's the first NCAA goalie. Sponsors pledge to donate based on the number of saves that a goalie makes in a game, and that translates to Czech korunas, which I think are about, I think it's like a 15 or a 20 to 1 to an American dollar.
Hmm.
So it's not a huge commitment. So if you're
Amazing.
out there listening and you want to sponsor a goalie, I mean, she's right there in Dartmouth. And they won on Saturday. They upset number 9 Clarkson, which is a big upset.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. And she's a heck of a goalie, and good on her to put that added pressure on herself. Kelly, would that affect you if you had something like that when you were playing?
No, just, it's a heartwarming
I
thing.
hate asking Kelly these questions.
No.
I know, I forget.
She's got ice in her veins,
I know, she's a
right? That's the
Terminator.
book, Ice in Her Veins.
No, but you're just doing something nice, but I don't think it's in the forefront of your brain while you're playing.
Yeah.
Even like the day you sign up, like right then, maybe, yeah.
No.
This is why I was a scrub player.
Mhm.
Cornell, they're the last team remaining unbeaten in the ACAC, but they again 7 games played, a little less of a schedule so far, but still undefeated. So shout out to them. Lynn, you want to do Hockey East?
Oh, you do it. Sorry.
Right.
I'm actually like I was looking up Saves Help because
Oh,
you're
all right. All
yeah.
right. So Hockey East, Holy Cross, Holy Cross, good on them, because Holy Cross has been fighting uphill, I feel, for a number of years. And this is the best start in the program history at 7-2-0, and they are still undefeated at this time of this recording. They are undefeated at home, even though they're hosting UConn later today. So that might be over. But
Put a timestamp on that, Brownie.
yeah, exactly. They beat RPI twice, Dartmouth twice, Post once, and they, again, like I said, they're hosting UConn, but they're playing great. They're fun to watch. I'm going to try to get to some of their games because they're actually not too far from me, over in Worcester, over in Woodtown. So pretty good.
Yeah.
And then speaking of UConn, 4-2-0 versus ranked teams. They split with St. Cloud, they split with Clarkson, and then they got 2 on Princeton. And then the last thing from Hockey East is that Boston College leads Hockey East with a 3-1-1 record in conference, but overall they're 4-5-1, which is one of those funny little statistical things, First in Hockey East with a sub 500 record.
Yeah. Hey, Ronnie, when you talk about mental pressure and that, when I see this undefeated mentions by you, so if you talk about pressure, that's a whole different thing, and that that grows. That's something.
Would you feel that more as a goalie versus a player, you think?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because it's on
that
you,
becomes
right?
something different. At Northeastern, for what was my junior year, we went undefeated through the whole season,
Right.
and into the playoffs. So it's a trip, and it kind of builds upon itself. I remember one time we were playing Brown at the time, which was not a powerhouse, and I think we were losing going into the third, and we were on that undefeated streak. So yeah, that definitely adds a lot of pressure. Turn it into a positive.
Ladies and gents, she is human.
No, but it's interesting, that word, and of course we were pretty superstitious in the locker room, like never say the U word,
Right.
and all this type of
Right.
things. Yeah, so it's interesting. Like I can even feel it when you said it. Like I could feel it inside.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, and the Holy Cross thing, I mean, I think it's just really great. First of all, scheduling to line up with likewise teams, not and to just sort of get the team wired to be used to expecting a win, right? Like that's a big part. I know in some of the early years at Northeastern when I was coaching, wins didn't come easy, right? And we would go 7 or 8 games and not win. And that wired and when you did win and you had a big win, or we had a ton of ties, so we always felt like we were that close. But it was euphoric, but only for a short moment, because if you went back out and you lost 3 games again, you're right back to that. So like Holy Cross, I can't imagine that like being 7-2 right now, that's great. That's just great way to build a program and to build the mentality that winning is expected and that you deserve to win.
Imagine the juniors and seniors on that team that have been getting their
Yeah.
teeth kicked in for 3 years. It's great. No,
Yeah, I was
I'm
looking
all
at their
for it.
roster too. Yeah. So
Deserve to win, Linda. That's a big one. That's a big, shift in your personal expectations and your right to win and think you're going to win.
And then you go back to that what we were saying, the pressures of privilege. It's they've already accomplished something to be undefeated at home at 7-2 or whatever, and then to have that as opposed to previous years when, like, hey, we lost our first game at home. There's no pressure. So
and Katie LaChapelle knows how to do that because she was at BU.
Yeah.
And they had to create the environment where it was expected to win as they built the
Good coach.
program.
I like the way she
So,
coaches. They
yeah,
play hard, they don't give up. They don't go cheap at the end, like some teams do, down by 4 or 5. I've seen that over the years. They've
yeah,
never done that. They don't goon it up, which speaks to
great.
her. Yeah. All right. So in the NUHA, uh,
I laugh every time you say that. I don't know why.
all teams' overall record in the league is 500 or lower, with St. A's 5-1, Assumption 4-0-1, and Stonehill 4-1-1, having the only winning conference records. So I wanted to ask you this, Linda, because you were a coach. How much input do you have at the college level on picking your out of conference opponents, or is that the AD?
No, no, the coaches work on that.
Yeah,
Um, this the coaches work on that. They do a lot of it. She's way ahead. I feel like it used to happen a lot at the coaches convention, which is in the spring. But
yeah,
there's so much scheduling ahead now. But you got to think about things like your strength of schedule. But like also, if I go back to those moments where I think about those harder times, and maybe we were playing. I think one year we went to Minnesota. We played the Gophers. We had a couple Minnesota kids, so it was super exciting. But I was like, "Are we out of our league? Like,
right, right, right.
should we be here playing this team?"
But that
And
loss will benefit you over a cream puff win, right?
sure, sure. But we were not getting any cream puff wins at that moment.
Yeah,
So you have to. There's just so many factors you have to think about. What does it do for your strength of schedule? What does it do for your team morale if you win versus lose?
right.
What no matter who it is. What's your travel budget? I
Oh,
mean,
right. Yeah, I didn't think
can
of that.
you,
Yeah.
I saw traditionally you haven't seen WCHA teams come out east. They did a lot this year, which is nice to see because one of the challenges that I know has been trying to get them to come east instead of everybody always going west. And that's no knock one way or another. And the WCHA also has a very challenging schedule because they have more teams in their league and they only have room for, I think, maybe 5 non-conference games. They are in their conference. I mean, Duluth is opening up with Wisconsin on their opening weekend. Things like
Yeah,
that. Like they're not
yeah.
playing, 8 non-conference games before they get into league play. So, that's the long answer. The short answer is that the coaches try to do it and they try to set their teams up for success, which is why, I wanted to compliment, Katie on, how she made her schedule and setting her team up for success.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
A couple of shout outs though. St. A's senior forward Brooklyn Schneiderhan is tied with 20th in the nation with points 5, 8, and 13th. Meanwhile, listen, tied with 20th doesn't sound that great, but there are so many players at each, like there's like 2 at 1, 3 at 2, 15 at 4. So it's they're right there.
Yeah.
Um She's first in points, goals, and second in assists in her league. And again, she's played less games than most of the others. I think, got 4 games in hand, if I remember correctly. And then St. Michael's senior goalie, Annika Lavender, she's 12th in the nation with a 939 save percentage and has broken the school record for saves, 2,528 and counting, that was previously held by excuse me, Aaron Stevens in 2013. Kelly, I'm going to confess to you that I tried to look up your career saves and I couldn't find it because I wanted to compare it, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Do you know your
Yeah,
career saves at Northeastern
I
in college?
don't know. I was more
Okay.
concerned with the
Hold,
W's. I
hold,
didn't really
please.
focus
Keep your
on
Oh,
the.
conversation going and I'll
oh,
find
Linda's
it
digging. Linda's going to find it.
because I know exactly where it is.
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, I'll keep going. Oh,
Keep
all right. I'll
going.
keep going, but I'm going to switch the order so you can watch the video with us. So Penn State undefeated 12-0-0 and outscoring
Yeah.
opponents 55-8. This is the best start in their program history, which is a nice tie-in. They have their outdoor game set to happen at Beaver Stadium this winter versus Robert Morris on January 31st. The capacity for that game is over 106,000. What an atmosphere. Well, that would be unbelievable. Did you want to look and see how far Penn State is from you, Linda?
I've been to Penn State plenty of times. I went to
Oh,
the
have you?
Frozen
All
Four
right.
there. It's 4 hours.
Oh, there you go.
Um, Kumi was there as an assistant coach, so I was going down there while I went down to the Frozen
Uh,
Four there. But yeah, they're rolling right now. It's great.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
I'm looking forward to they're in town first Northeastern, I think, over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I'll be at those games.
Nice. Did you find it? Or do you want me to keep going?
You can keep going.
All right. So Delaware, they got their first program win and their home win versus Holy Cross, but it was on the road, so Holy Cross keeps the home streak going. Freshman Francesca Barisi scored the first goal in program history in her first NCAA game, which is great, versus LIU, and she's the program's first commit from Ottawa, and I have the video. Hold on.
Two southernmost schools that have women's ice hockey. Delaware now the second most southern school behind Lindenwood, who's in Missouri. Turnover. Delaware back the other way. He shoots. She scores!
There it is.
Frankie Barisi, the first goal in Delaware history.
So for
Sally,
those that are
good
just
Sally.
listening, it was the camera did not keep up with the puck, which we've come to expect from some of these feeds. But it was not a cheap goal. It wasn't like like a fumble it by the goalie in the transition. She picked that off at her own blue line and broke in. So good on her. That was a great snipe. And I've talked to the SID. She's going to come on the podcast later on in the year. So.
Brownie, I'd like to give you a shout out for your technology on that one, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
A great blend.
Thank you.
Another observation, I know it's funny, but I think it's a goalie thing, but being so attentive to like the colors and everything, it was interesting to see non-traditional hockey colors on both teams of the newer teams, pretty exciting, but they were also.
Would that affect you, like seeing the puck come off like jerseys in the background, or?
Not so much. It could be from my equipment making days as well, but I'm just very attentive to that. But again, unique colors for both.
Yeah, those are cool colors. Yeah. All right, and then in the WCHA, a little bit of a different video. Minnesota's Chloe Primerano and Ohio State's Jordan Petrie were suspended for one game each after a bench clearing brawl at the end of the game that Minnesota won 6-3. I think I have that video. I have it loaded. If I can find it, there we go. Here we go.
You got this, Brownie.
There's no sound on this one. You can see here, it's like a post whistle scrum, and then it just goes south from there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's not only third man in. That's fourth man in. Is this a first, you guys? I don't recall.
Yeah, I believe so. Nelly.
I don't like those unis. I think those unis are not
black and gray.
Pleasing. Yeah, I don't like the red name. I'm just aesthetically
on the back of their names,
judging it aesthetically.
Yeah. So that player raising her arms is Nelly Lettinen, their captain, and that's probably the best part of that video for me. I think that's hilarious because at the time it was already 6-3. And Linda, what you said about the game, I'm pretty sure it was that game. The announcer was like, "Today's going to be a tough one for the boys in the booth," or something to that effect, because of the red. It's hard to pick up. You can see the numbers, but you can't see the name. Yeah. I think those are like their third jerseys or something. But
I've seen a lot of trends from football. You're seeing like this in the football with the third jerseys and going with a very different look, which is cool. I love the change up of uniforms, but fine tuning.
They sell more merch. What's funny is my beer league team is talking about third jerseys. I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's just funny. And then sticking with Minnesota also ended Wisconsin's unbeaten streak. 23 games played. It was 10 straight to open this year when they beat the Badgers 5-1 on Friday. Then the Badgers bounced back with a very decisive 7-2 victory over Minnesota the next day. And then Caroline Harvey is the first Badger D to notch 150 career points. So shout out to her and counting.
Amazing.
I'm sure she's well over 150 by now. And then I don't know if you guys saw this, but Minnesota Duluth, friend of the podcast, MK O'Brien, she put up a post for the first game She was like, "Call your chiropractor" was the tagline, because then she was like, "I'm back," which was just a great cocky video. I like her a lot. And remember the video we played with her when she was like no days off. Yeah, just a good use of social media to promote yourself and the team. Thought it was good. But yeah, so that's our NCAA rundown. Pretty good.
Brownie,
Not
that was
bad.
impressive. Congratulations. Nice
Hey.
job.
Yeah, that was good. You run it down and we just add our little
Yeah, but that's
chirps. We'll call it chirps.
it's good.
Listen, I found some stats on Kelly and I want
Go.
to talk about them because I wanted to say, come on, Northeastern, do better, but you're not on the career save list. But I have something to say about generations in this.
Go ahead.
First of all, the lineage of Northeastern goaltenders is
Only you,
just,
man.
you hope like you're surpassed, right? Because that means, you've got Aaron Frankel,
I will
Shell, and
point out, Linda,
Shandagun.
that's mathematically because of games played. We didn't play as many games.
Stop stealing my thunder. I was just gonna say, I'm in career saves, and I'm like, how is that not on there? Kelly's career goals against average is 2.04.
Well, that's high.
So it's pretty
High.
tough to beat that. But exactly true. Career wins. Listen to this. Career wins for Kelly. She's number 8 on the list from 85 to 89. 55 games, 47 wins.
Wow.
But so that's where my point is. Aaron Frankel, 2017 to 2022, COVID year in there, so 139 games. Erica Silva, let's take a I don't think she played as much her first year, but still had 98 games. Brittany Bogalski's on there. She's number 5. She had 95 games. Shannon Myers, also an awesome goalie that I got to watch after. Yeah, 100 games. So the closest person behind you who's on there, which I think is awesome, is Sugay, who was a teammate of yours. She had 54, but Kim Flat 70, Shandagun 88. So you can just see like how much harder it gets to stay on stats lists when the generations of the game schedules and everything else is different, right?
Expanded
So
playoffs, all that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
depth of playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cool.
Anyway,
Cool.
I did look it up, but I was like, why can't I find this? Come
What was
on,
my save
Northeastern.
percentage, Len?
Well, it doesn't say on here because it's not, they only do the top 10. I'd have to go into the
Okay.
individual, and I don't want to be scrolling too much on our podcast. So
No.
That'll be for next time. We'll
Yeah.
I was never a big stats person. There was an older gentleman that used to be at all of our games, and he'd come down with his little piece of paper.
Joe Burke.
Yes, thank you. I love Joe. He was so nice.
Yeah.
And he'd share all these numbers, and I'm like, well, that's really cool, but I was never into it. Like, as long as we're winning, I don't need to know anything else.
So he's a legend. I'll tell a funny story about Joe Burke because there's a Joe Burke Award in
I
women's
received
hockey.
it. Yeah. Really nice.
So Joe, is this little guy from Dedham, my home away from home here. And he came down one time when I was playing. I'm pretty sure I was playing, not coaching. No, maybe I had just started coaching. But he came down and he tapped the glass, and he's a short guy, so he didn't get his hand over the glass behind the bench. I don't know how he did it, but he handed me a lined piece of paper. It still had the frills from where you pull it out of the spiral bound, and it was all like folded up, like small, and it was beat up. It was a handwritten roster from when we won the national championship for the Stoneham Unicorns versus the Connecticut Polar Bears, we had 8 players, 8 skaters and a goalie, and we were playing the Polar Bears who had like 4 full lines. The likes of like Summers played on that team. My team was like Sandra White, Marianne Forbes was our goalie, but we only had 8 skaters. We had a low number that year, maybe some injuries. Joe reaches over the glass, hands me the lined piece of paper, and it was the handwritten roster from that year. God, I'd be dating myself if I said it had to be 88 because I went to Northeastern in 89. And it was when I was coaching, and he said, I always believed in you. You were small, but you were feisty, and I always believed in you. And he handed me that roster. it was really great.
Do you
So
think he had it in his notebook all that time? Probably, right?
he kept everything. I
Yeah.
And he
mean, I
just
know
saw
when
you,
he
ripped it out, and
passed,
brought it down. Yeah.
he was, yeah, he was heavily involved and known to everybody in women's hockey.
Yeah.
Made as many games as he could. And I know Katie Gay, who's a referee, and she used to drive him into the games, and every once in a while there would be a text thread, and when he couldn't drive anymore, she would send out a text and say, "Can anybody bring Joe into the Northeastern game today?" Or
Oh, that's
so,
great.
yeah.
I
Rest
had
in
sent him
peace,
a
Joe.
gift when I finished playing at Northeastern, just for thank you for caring. And he wrote me back the sweetest thank you note that I received in the
Yes.
mail. And so I kept it with the trophy. I just taped it to the back of it. So it
Yeah.
was really sweet to have that handwritten note from him with that. It was really special.
Oh, that's nice. Nice memory, nice story. Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so they announced to continue, they announced the Rivalry Series. USA's released their roster. Canada has not yet. It's Thursday, November 6th in Cleveland, Saturday, November 8th in Buffalo, Monday, November 10th, and Thursday, November 13th in Edmonton. And I have the USA roster here somewhere. I don't know why it's not letting me scroll. Oh, there we go. Because I was scrolling the wrong way.
You got this, Brownie.
Yeah. Boom. So
There
no
you go.
big surprises. I would say pretty much who you thought would be there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Abby
speaking
Murphy.
of the heritage of Northeastern goaltenders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
love it.
true. Yeah.
Love it.
I'm glad to see Abby Murphy there. I think she deserves that for sure. Carolyn Harvey, Layla Edwards, got some of the college players up there. Kristen Sims.
I'll be there in Buffalo on
Oh, that's
Saturday.
right. That's right. That's right. You don't have
Yeah,
your
we
USA
were.
shirt on today.
Well, yeah. My neighbor had a fire last night, and
Whoa.
not a
Everybody
fire in their
okay?
house, a fire in the driveway.
Oh, who
Fire
could say
pit.
it
Fire.
like that? Oh my God,
They didn't have
Linda.
a fire. They had a fire pit last night, and I was there, and my shirt smelled.
They had a fire on
So I was
purpose.
like,
Oh,
I'm going
no.
repping the bean pot. I'll give my bean pot updates at the end.
Mhm.
And then the last thing we have, or last couple things before Linda's Beanpot stuff, the PW sweater weather. This is from the PWHL website. Vancouver and Seattle released their home and aways. Both sweater featured colors inspired by each city's natural surroundings. Seattle with the deep slate green and cream with a river blue accent. Vancouver with the Pacific blue and cream with earthy bronze accent. And I can share those. So for Vancouver, Nurse.
You're just a technology show off today.
Yeah, buddy. If I can do it, I'll do it. So there's Sarah Nurse repping the Vancouver.
That's
I
a
like
great
those.
picture of her.
Yeah, well, try to find a bad picture of Sarah Nurse.
Good point. Good point.
So
I love it.
there's that one, and then go. That's both of them. So that's Claire Thompson and I'm blanking on the other player right now.
Ohio
That's
State.
horrible. Are you trying to give me hints?
Yeah.
Jen Gardner. Thank you.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You guys make a great team. You can tell you've been together for a long time now.
So that's Vancouver. And then for Seattle, you have we decided, is it Corinne or Corrine?
Corinne. She just got inducted into the Beanpot Hall of Fame 2 years ago.
Adorable.
Great
Yeah.
picture. She looks so happy wearing that jersey. That's just a great picture.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's the
Big
Seattle,
goalie
which
jersey.
I kind of like that color of Seattle. It ties in with the Kraken a little bit too.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
then I don't know if you guys have heard of this one. Speaking of a good happy picture, look at her. She looks like she's having a good time.
Yeah.
Hillary Knight.
So it's interesting with the PW with the merch because they have all these different vendors that they're going through. So when you go on the PW to buy merch, it's like 7 or 8 different vendors that they're using. So I found it a little bit difficult. If I were to just insert a quick do better, I don't know. I love that they're using different vendors, and I love that there's like different there's definitely different styles in these vendors. There's the Barbie series. I love the whole royalty series. So they're in there, and I love all their clothing. But I don't know if I saw anything for Seattle and Vancouver yet. So there's some limited items for these teams in there right now, right? But it was hard, and I did have a full cart by the time I was done, but it took me a while. I
Oh,
did
that
hit.
way to
I
stick
gotta
with
get.
it. Get that
I
full
gotta.
card.
You guys talk about perseverance and pressure the privilege, and I was in that cart trying to figure out what I wanted. So,
Well, that's
So
the
but
famous line by Mary with Women X is, support, but support means, showing up, but buying the merch, Len.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I want
um,
one from every team. I just think it's important. It's not about like which team I want to win. It's just repping.
and of
yeah.
course the color, right? You gotta be honest here.
Colors
Like, that
matter.
Seattle's looking pretty good.
Well, they are gonna do, I think, what the other teams did. They're gonna just go with the generic, and then they'll introduce the mascots and the logos
Yes.
and
Sure.
all that.
Yeah.
Well, that gets the fan engagement too,
Yeah,
and
for
you
sure,
hope,
for
yeah.
sure. And as I've been reminded multiple times, is that you can get every player now on a jersey, not just the 3 stars
Yeah. That
for
was
each
Yeah.
your
team.
maybe they listened to our podcast. You were like,
Maybe
come on,
because
I want to be
I
able to get these jerseys.
there's going to be a Katie Knoll, Minnesota sweater over here for my daughter.
Yeah. Is that a
So
Christmas present coming up?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Which I
Awesome.
consistently get reminded. So Katie, if you're listening, that one over here is for us, not just your parents buying them. uh, teams will
Oh, that hurt.
no, I didn't mean it like that. Teams will debut their sweaters when they face off at the Pacific Coliseum on November 21st to open the season. And this is another thing that the PWHL does really well, that they're nimble like this, maybe because it's smaller and new. But how great is it at one of the newest, nicest rinks that they're debuting kickoff season with the two new teams? It's just super smart.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um,
It's
and
gonna be
then
exciting.
speaking of Minnesota, they also unveiled new sweaters to commemorate their 2 Walter Cup wins. There's a patch on the right. I do not have a photo of this. There's a patch on the right front shoulder. The lettering incorporates a silver stitch, and the numbers are outlined in silver. And they'll be worn into January with updated uniform, purple helmets, gloves, and pants to be worn at home. So they'll be wearing like that monochromatic. It'll be pretty cool looking, I think. And then this is the thing I was alluding to earlier. Per reports, the P Dub is set to expand to 4 new cities with 2 teams for 26-27, and then 2 teams in 27-28. An announcement is expected later this season. So maybe Quebec City will finally get a team. I don't know.
They're definitely warming up for it.
I mean, the buzz around the team, the amount of players that are like getting not drafted but getting invites to camps, and players that haven't come back from overseas yet, I feel like they wouldn't have a problem adding 4 teams in terms of rosters. You know?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely going in the right direction.
Well, there's so many good goalies out there too, and they're getting
Yeah.
stacked up. So just like the goalie perspective alone, it'd be great to open up some more opportunities.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Brownie,
you can't.
you want to queue up
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. Hold on. I'll
my
pull it up.
my
Yep,
photo that I sent you?
right here.
One more topic to cover. In paying homage to this guy behind here, this great building, Matthews Arena. Northeastern on the men's and women's side are going through a series of puck drops. So they're asking some notable alumni or to come in. So yesterday they started it with Shelly Looney, as you see here. So Shelly did the puck drop for the BU game yesterday, and just a series from now until December 6th, when is the last women's game. I think the last men's game is December 13th.
13th. Yep.
Brownie, you
Yeah,
should
but
share that picture on our social because that's an awesome picture.
Yeah. Shout out
we
to
cover
Jim.
in all
That
the
is
things.
Jim's picture, Linda.
Okay.
So shout out to Jim for the picture there.
Oh, Jim Pierce. Yeah,
Yep.
Yep. Shout out
Shelly
to
looks
Jim Pierce.
awesome.
So that's a great picture. I love it so much. But yeah, Northeastern is just bringing people in and having the puck, drop the puck, and just sort of like a final Matthews Arena goodbye between now and then. Kelly will be there next Saturday, right, Kelly? You're in
Yes.
for that.
Yep.
There'll be a great crew there.
When's yours, man?
Day after Thanksgiving.
Nice. Black Friday, Linda
and
comes to
yeah,
town.
Black Friday, empty building. I just keep it low key. Oh man. If they're still gonna let me, I've rescheduled it like 3 times. So
I will
that
say,
talk about
Shelly looked like she was moving okay with her back. She looked good.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing better.
Yep.
She's doing better too. So I sent her a text and that I saw that picture and I thought it was awesome. So I wanted to share.
Yeah. It was funny. I don't know what happened, but she walked out and she was standing at the end of the red carpet, and like the captains were behind her at the beginning of both their lines, and they were both like taking off their gloves, and Shelly's like looking around like, what are you guys doing? And she like waved them up like, come on.
Oh, that's
So you could
funny.
tell she doesn't want to be the center of the spotlight, and it was just funny. It was a funny little moment. But
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just likes to score those big goals on the
Yeah,
spotlight.
that's
She
it.
doesn't need
Yeah.
to have the handshake and the spotlight.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
biggie.
And then the only thing I had, just this story popped up somewhere. This woman, back in September, Betty Kellengerger, she became the oldest woman to hike the Appalachian Trail 2,200 miles at 80 years old.
Wow.
So good on her. I don't think I could do it now. So good on her for
No
doing
way. No way. Where do you find this stuff? I don't know.
it. It just comes through my timeline, and like I told you, I see some weird story or interesting, and I
Yeah.
take a screenshot, and then I scroll through my photos. But
I
yeah,
got a
that's what I had.
plus. I got a plus.
Go ahead.
In the spirit of me wearing my Beanpot sweatshirt, women's Beanpot tickets are going to go on sale this week. I believe. I heard it was Tuesday. I can't officially announce it, even though I'm announcing it, because I haven't seen anything come out from the garden or the schools. But
Yeah.
obviously, behind the scenes, and not even behind the scenes anymore, with Women X and Mary Champa, myself, Molly Pritz, like, and a whole group of people who are doing boots on the ground stuff. That's what we're hearing is coming out this week. So the push is on. We're selling it out this year. There is no other alternative. So go for 10,000 to 13,000, and we're looking for 17.
Nice.
So yeah. So that's my
Well,
plus. They're going on sale. It's time to get moving. Get your tickets and tell, like you said, Brownie, tell 100 of your friends.
Well, maybe next week, Lynn, we could share the information of the ticket links and things like that.
Yeah, I don't really have it, so I was
Right,
like,
for
should
next
I
week.
announce this?
Yeah, you
no,
should.
Kelly's right for next week. Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
A little
is what I'm
teaser, Lynn.
calling.
A little teaser.
It's a teaser. I'm asking for forgiveness, not permission. So
There you go.
yeah,
Always a good rule.
yeah.
And I'm sure you'll hear from the people involved, like Mary, at some point on these broadcast airwaves.
Yes.
Maybe we should bring
yes.
Mary in. Bring Mary in for a special focus to the Women's Beanpot for
Yeah.
the history of it, which I know she's very knowledgeable and the exciting future.
Yeah. Mary's good. She tells good stories.
She's funny.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us for this week. Thank you for tuning in, listening, having patience, listen to us bicker, and pretty smooth technology today, so we can't blame anything on that.
Cheers to you, Brownie.
Yeah, well, hey, let's see if I can do it more than once in a row. Then it becomes more of a consistent thing.
A habit of
50,
winning.
53 minutes. 53 minutes. We're getting there.
All right, we're getting
closer.
There.
I got a 6-year-old birthday party at 11 a.m. Here we go.
Oh, good Lord. All right.
Yep.
Well, good luck with all that. And thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, tell 100 of your closest friends. And we'll see you next time.
Bye for
guys.
now.